Okay, great.
How are you?
Very good, Congressman. How are you doing right now?
I am doing well. How's everything?
It's going pretty good. I understand 100 senators have been bussed over to the White House for that briefing about the situation in North Korea. Are we up and running already? Are we recording? Okay, yeah, about that. What have you heard about that? I've heard that many senators are quite annoyed at, just having to get on the bus from the Capitol building all the way to the White House. But I understand that this meeting, this briefing, might actually be about the U.S. using and getting its allies to help in the situation with North Korea. Is that what you have heard, and is that good news to you?
Well, I don't know what the Senate is doing. I can tell you that in the next 43 minutes or so, we are going to have a bipartisan classified hearing on North Korea, where we're going to hear from the Secretary of Defense and other folks about North Korea. So I assume that what the Senate heard is what we're going to be hearing also in the next 42 minutes.
All right, Congressman, I'm going to bring this back home here to the Rio Grande Valley. Understand, and we know that, Congressman, you and others have been pushing for a federal courthouse in the city of McAllen, a new federal courthouse. How far along is that, and how close is that to becoming a reality?
We still got a long way to go. First of all, we got a housing study that was very important to show, to ask the question, do we need a new federal courthouse? And as you can see, this study came out and says that we do need it. And I think for us that have been there at the courthouse, we knew that answer, but you got to go through the process. The next step is this summer, there will be a couple of meetings with the Conference of Judges, the National Conference of Judges, and they will take a vote whether this should be part of their plan to have a new courthouse in the process. And then from there, then it comes to us in appropriations to see if we can find the money for this. Will this be done overnight? No, but I think we're taking the steps there to get a new courthouse. The last time Senator Cornyn and I were able to get the new courthouse in San Antonio, now our focus, Senator Cornyn and myself, and of course the rest of the delegation, Senator Cruz, and of course Congressman Vela, and the other folks here, Vicente, also will be working on trying to get this courthouse, working with the city to see if we can get a courthouse. So it's still a way to go, but we're taking some positive steps forward.
Congressman, what are some of the things that came out of this study? Why is a federal courthouse needed in the city of McAllen?
First of all, you got to look at security. I think the security for any courthouse is something that we need to look at. Again, the private person, the landlord, is doing a good job under the circumstances, but under the guidelines that the judges have, there has to be a different type of security. There's need for space also. And we just, we have to make a decision. Do we just have judges in this new courthouse, or do we add other offices there? So these are steps that we have to take, but again, needing office space, needing a different security, not saying anything against the private landlord that we have. I think the landlords are from Mexico, but they're trying to do the best that they can. But again, under the rules that we have, the federal rules, we need to make sure that we get a new courthouse in the future. And this is what I'm going to do, working as a team member with the rest of the senators and the congressmen. Again, we're working together as a team, and I'm hoping we can get it done.
And Congressman, there was word this morning of the administration actually thinking of pulling out of NAFTA. As you know, here in the Rio Grande Valley, many business leaders are worried about possible tariff wars between the United States and Mexico. What are you doing over there on Capitol Hill to make sure that that they know exactly what's going on here in the Rio Grande Valley and how that would affect not only the state of Texas, but particularly right here on the border at our international bridges and jobs that could be affected as well.
Again, without due respect to the president, he keeps surprising me every tweet, every time he goes out and says something. Listen, Mexico and Canada are some of the most important countries that we have. They're neighbors, and I wish other areas of the world will have neighbors like the Canadians and the Mexicans. Mexico is important to us. NAFTA is important to us because every day there's $1.5 billion of trade between the U.S. and Mexico. That's over $1 million a day between the U.S. and Mexico. Every single minute, $1 million a minute. So that's a lot of money that we're seeing. Jobs on our side. And what we're seeing right now, quite honestly, because of this this position that the president is taking, it's going to affect the investment. People that want to invest in our warehouses and our businesses over here, because the Mexicans want to know what's going to happen with NAFTA. Look at tourism. Look at retail. It's all gone down because what the president is doing. I think the president needs to understand that you can't be playing around the way he's doing this with two very important neighbors that we have. And I really wish he would let the adults in the room, and I'm talking about the members in his cabinet, work with the members of Congress so we can get this done this year instead of providing this uncertainty that we're seeing for all three countries. As you know what he's doing lately, the lumber and the other issues, dairy with the Canadians. So it's like one day he'll wake up, attack Canada, another day he'll attack Mexico. And this is just not the way to provide the leadership for our country. And I really wish he would stop that. And let's do a NAFTA 2.0. But this thing about pulling out with NAFTA, that has some serious economic repercussions that we are going to be seeing across the border.
And Congressman, as you know, President Trump pulled back from requesting funding for the border wall to avoid a government shutdown. But this has been put on the back burner until, I believe, next September. Do you believe it will be the same proposal for a border wall in September and the same amount of money, which I believe is $21 billion, or do you think that will change?
Well, the president made some campaign promises from the very first day that he announced for president that he's trying to keep. Along the way, he said that Mexico was going to pay for this wall. So my question to the president is, what happened to your Mexico was going to pay for this? Or why are you asking now the American taxpayers to pay for this 14th century solution called a wall, this medieval solution that we call a wall? Why are we doing this? We got to be smarter on how we secure the border. Listen to the men and women on the border and get the input from people that live there, don't let this political campaign promises dictate on how we secure the border. I sit on the appropriations, and we're trying to work out the appropriation process. There'll be no wall on this FY17, and what we're looking at is try to add more money for ICE, more money for Homeland Security in general, and that's what we're looking at. Technology, roads, that's what we're looking at to pay billions of dollars. And the way the president wants to pay for this, he wants to cut Coast Guard, TSA, CDBG, education, transportation, name it, for this 14th century solution called the wall. I wish he would listen more to the people on the ground that have been doing this longer than he's been president. And if we do this, we can have a secure border instead of coming up with billions of dollars and cutting out programs because he wants his campaign promise.
Well, thank you so much, Congressman. I understand we're out of time, but I appreciate you coming down to talk with us once again, and we look forward to speaking with you again, either when you're back in the Valley or another Connect to Congress interview. Thank you so much, Congressman.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.